Kash Patel was recently confirmed as the FBI director. Now, Kash Patel is the first Indian American FBI director. Thankfully, that hasn't been highly touted or promoted by the Trump administration because I despise tokenism. But anyway, he's the guy that's been promising to release things like the Epstein list. And recently, Pam Bondi, who is Trump's attorney general, she talked about that fact that, yes, the Jeffrey Epstein and P. Diddy lists will be released since Kash Patel has recently been confirmed as the next FBI director. And I just want to talk about how, in reality, to people in general, especially libtards, none of this information that will be revealed will matter. Now, it'll matter in a legal sense if people actually get, tried, prosecuted, and put behind bars. But in the general sense of people actually caring about it, especially libtards, it will have zero effect. In fact, you'll have their fans, their followers, their sycophants defend them even more. They'll see this as, oh, look at Trump, he's engaging in lawfare. You can have all the evidence. You can have pictures, you can have audio, you can have video, you can have documents. It doesn't matter. I mean, we've seen this song and dance before, where we had a laundry list of celebrities give bailout money to people who were burning, looting, and murdering. And people made a big fuss about that. They were guilty in aiding and abetting literal crime in the name of the peaceful protest. But guess what? They didn't care. And just to give you further examples, James Gunn, years ago on a channel ago, I talked about James Gunn and how he was temporarily fired but then rehired because Hollywood and libtards in general saw James Gunn temporary firing as a victory for conservatives. And you even had some so-called culture war YouTubers advocate for James Gunn being rehired, despite all of the damning evidence against him and his sexually charged jargon towards children, thousands of tweets in the form of thousands of tweets, photo evidence of him attending parties which were themed upon mocking or glorifying pedos. And again, one of the more damning tweets that I like to highlight is this one that was now a dead link, but at the time it was a link in 2010 to 100 pubescent girls touching themselves. And that link was given to James Gunn by a man by the name of Huston Huddleston, who pleaded guilty to possessing child pornography. But despite all of that, James Gunn, actively working in Hollywood, and he's one of the top execs over at DC. And guess what? The general public don't care about any of this damning info. They're more concerned with loving James Gunn's Guardians and anticipating what he's going to do with Superman. And again, these are libtards especially, but conservatives as well, so-called anti-wokes, have no issue with James Gunn and his guilty associations and the damning evidence that at the very least he was a pedo enthusiast. And you must be reminded, these were tweets coming from a man in his 40s, because he's an older guy. He's in his 50s now, but he was in his early to mid 40s when he was making these tweets. So he doesn't even have, oh, he was young excuse. And then, of course, you have Balenciaga, a part of the fashion industry, who just blatantly sexually exploit children through advertisements in America and especially in foreign countries like in Europe. Where they had that controversy with the Balenciaga ad, where they had where they had a couple of children posing with teddy bears dressed up in BDSM material, which is, apparel that apparel and accessories that adults use for their sexual deviancies. And then it was reported that on that very same photo shoot, there was a court document talking about virtual child porn. And it was referencing a U.S. Supreme Court opinion on federal child pornography law and how it could coincide with, free speech. Basically, defending child pornography. And Kim Kardashian, who's a notable spokesperson for the brand, who has children, by the way, was expected by some to condemn it. Obviously, she still works with the brand, but if you expect some type of morality out of a woman who was made famous for being in a porn video and whose mother is obviously their pimp, then you're an idiot. But again, it just further highlights how these people are very well aware of what's going on and what they're affiliated with, but they don't care. Because again, a number of celebrities continue to wear Balenciaga, and Balenciaga hasn't been canceled as a brand. So those are just two notable examples that shows you that it doesn't matter what the Epstein list reveals or what the P. Diddy list or any other list highlighting the degeneracy of Hollywood. Because liberals, Democrats, Republicans, conservatives alike still support Hollywood. Because everybody has a solid idea that these people sexually exploit kids and use the entertainment industry as a facade to traffic them. Because again, you have movies that literally advertise this fact. A young Brooke Shields at the age of 12 having a kissing scene with David Carradine's brother, who was a grown man. Uh, the movies featuring Shirley Temple and how they had her, being provocative and sitting on adult males' laps. And there was a dance routine that was made into a GIF where they was showing the adult dancer like pushing her head into towards his crotch. I mean, again, there's an endless list of movies and television show episodes showcasing sexual perverted acts towards kids, let alone what goes on behind the scenes. So again, people are aware of it, but they don't care. And that's what being a fan does. It enables you to support any and all kinds of behavior. I mean, behavior that you wouldn't even support if it was your own close friend or family members. And so that's why I don't believe the Epstein list will matter upon its release. Because again, you'll have those who will defend it, especially since it's being done under the Trump administration. And then you have people that support Trump who has continued to support Hollywood, not just all throughout their sexual perversions and crime, but all throughout Hollywood constantly insulting them over and over again. So if the insults from Hollywood direct specifically at Trump supporters and the clear sexual perversions and crimes that they engage in, if that hasn't halted at least Republicans, conservatives, and Trump supporters from supporting Hollywood, then nothing will. So that's just the reality of it. But anyway, I do look forward to at least seeing that promise kept.